Hello everyone, happy early Halloween. I'm Mike Thompson and I'm a film and music video director, and these are some of my favorite horror movies. Luckily the dudes at Never Nervous have given me these handy envelopes. I guess there's a subgenre of horror within each one to keep me on track. So yeah, let's do this. All right, envelope number one is slasher movie. This is a tough one. I think most people would say Halloween, and I love Halloween, and John Carpenter's kind of everything to me, but I think my favorite slasher is Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas. It just was one of those movies I saw when I was a kid that just scared the living hell out of me. It's got an amazing cast, it's got an amazing setting. When you watch it and the killer makes the phone calls and he's doing this weird gurgling sound, and it's all these things I think that became like tropes in slasher movies later on. But at the time they hadn't existed, so things that were cliche really came from this. And not to mention, it's kind of a stupid thing, but when I was a kid I had a huge crush on Olivia Hussey. What else is interesting about the movie is that Bob Clark, who directed it, would 11 years later make a completely different type of Christmas movie. He directed A Christmas Story. So very off base, but yeah, Black Christmas is absolutely terrifying, and I think it hits all the right beats for a really good slasher. All right, envelope number two is body horror. I guess we're talking like Cronenberg body horror type stuff. Oddly enough, my favorite body horror movie, I don't even think it's technically classified as a horror movie. It's a movie by Todd Haynes from the 90s called Safe. I think it's one of Julianne Moore's first starring roles, possibly. But it's a really interesting movie. She plays a housewife in the San Fernando Valley who develops chemical sensitivity and pretty much succumbs to this, I don't even know what you call it, because pretty much everything that she comes across affects her. She gets a nosebleed during like a perm. She goes into a dry cleaner and has this massive seizure, and basically everything around her starts to just cause it to where she becomes agoraphobic and doesn't want to leave the house. And the doctors can't find out what's wrong with her at all. And it's, to me, that type of thing is more body horror to me, and it's terrifying, the idea that your body would just create this new thing that has never been a part of your life and sort of try to destroy you on its own. It's shot really well. It's shot like a horror movie. It has really creepy droning score. Criterion Collection actually has a really good Blu-ray of it, so if you're into stuff like that, I would recommend Safe. Envelope number three. This is actually kind of fun. Sci-fi horror. This is tough. I think there was like a time in my life when I would have been, without a question, said Alien. Until I started like thinking back on movies I saw when I was a kid. There's a movie called Seconds by John Frankenheimer that's really good. It's an old 60s movie. It's got Rock Hudson in it, who's like one of the greatest movie stars of all time. It's really cool. It's about like a middle-aged man who goes through a midlife crisis, and he comes across this weird company that promises to give him a new life. And so through an identity change and all this bizarre plastic surgery and stuff, he wakes up as a different man, and it's played, the new man's played by Rock Hudson. And he slowly starts to realize that maybe this is not what he wants, this new body. And the main thing about the movie that makes it super off-putting and it sort of creates that paranoia that you feel for Rock Hudson throughout the movie is the cinematography. They do this amazing job of using wide-angle lenses far too close on the subjects, and it's absolutely terrifying. I saw it when I was a kid, had no idea that I was watching a horror movie, and until it starts to go down, kind of, it really freaked me out. I think it still does to this day. All right, last one. This has been a difficult process trying to narrow all these down, so let's see what we got here. Haunted House. Oh God. Okay, Haunted House movie in terms of just purely scared the hell out of me. Still love it. 1963's The Haunting. Is the first adaptation of Shirley Jackson's novel, The Haunting of Hill House, which actually there's a really good series on Netflix right now that Mike Flanagan did in kind of a revisionist way. So it's very different from the book, and this is more of like a true adaptation. But it's just like a perfect ghost story. Robert Wise directed it. while he was in post-production on West Side Story, which is the idea of directing something while you're in post-production on something as big as West Side Story is insane to me anyway. But the film is just perfect. The cinematography is amazing. The sets are gorgeous. It just kind of, it's one of those movies that drips atmosphere. The performances by Claire Bloom and Julie Harris as Nell and Theo are fantastic. And I think what I love the most about this movie is that it does something that a lot of haunted house and ghost movies just refuse to do anymore, which is it kind of lets you scare yourself, if that makes any sense. There's so many sequences where you hear things in the hallway, or things are turning doorknobs, or things are knocking on the walls. There's scenes where the doors are just like swelling at the main characters, and you never see what is actually doing this. And so you're allowed to kind of let your imagination run rampant, and you just, like I said, you just kind of scare yourself trying to just think of what's behind that door. And there's a million other movies I could probably name, but that's one that I saw. I will never forget it. I saw it when I was 8 years old on like Turner Classic Movies or something like that. It scared me then. I guarantee if I watched it tonight, it would scare me now. So, yeah, definitely check that one out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to Never Nervous for having me. Hopefully maybe something in there entice you to watch a movie that you hadn't seen before or something. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Happy Halloween, everybody.